program. Maybe I'm on the wrong track, but I need to know what's going on with this brother. What crime did he commit again?
Oh my goodness.
Why is he in court? Why did he get arrested? What did he do that was illegal that everybody else ain't doing out here? What make him different from the next man, triggering off on the female? I thought that was popular culture. He put on for the culture. Everything he doing is a part of black culture.
Oh my goodness.
In the modern day, in the past, it ain't nothing new. It's been going on. People that got money pay for what they like. That's the whole point of having money. Whatever you like, you can have it. You want to go to the movies, whatever it is you like. You want to have a hotel night, if you paying for it, whatever it is you like.
Oh my goodness.
What did he do wrong? He like baby oil. That shit sexy. Had them asses in there glistering. Ain't nobody say that was illegal. Or is it? Because if that's the case, Johnson & Johnson gonna have to do some rebranding and call that motherfucker Diddy oil.
Oh my goodness.
We about to talk about it, man. Make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button too. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all. Y'all need to see what happened in the court today, because I can't even believe it. When I seen it, I was stunned. This man is still paying this woman's bills, y'all. She in court complaining. They said she was crying for 7 minutes straight. She couldn't even get her testimony out. Just and then go back home to a house that Diddy paying for. Combs is still paying for Jane's rent and attorney's fees, she said. So she in court trying to sue this man, and he paying for the damn lawyer fees. And allegedly they saying 50 Cent her baby daddy, and he ain't giving her a dime. Diddy doing her better than her own baby daddy, and she's still complaining. But you know, they got a hard on for this man. They just want to get him for what he did. He sued that liquor company. He did some other stuff talking about black excellence and all that type of stuff. They making an example out of this man. Ain't never gonna be another flamboyant brother like Diddy out there no time soon. We're about to get into all this news, man, because it's a bunch of stuff. Y'all gotta see this. Look at this, y'all.
I'm Eva Pilgrim. Thanks for streaming with us. Week 5 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial kicking off with the hip-hop mogul's ex-girlfriend Jane back on the stand. She began tearing up, crying into a microphone at one point after testifying about a text she sent Combs after he allegedly requested a so-called hotel night. Jane replying, "I'm not a porn star. I'm not an animal. I need a break." Jane also describing for the jury what she saw as love bombing, something she said he would do when he wanted to watch her have sex with other men. Jane also telling the jury she almost fainted when she learned about cat.
So she thought just because she was fine, all she had to do was sit there and look good. As long as she looked good and she on his arm, he gonna give her the life. She wanted a regular relationship. Ain't work out like that with 50 Cent. What make her think Diddy gonna be the biggest simp that she ever came across? She dealing with hip-hop stars. She better go down to Silicon Valley and get one of them tech geeks, and they wipe her ass up, probably clone her, turn her into a fucking machine. Ain't nothing for free. What was she thinking? Diddy gave her the easy way out. Choices. What it's gonna be? You know what he about, you know what he want, either you with it or you not. And she chose to be with it because she wanted that man's money. So hell, he the victim at the end of the day because he paid her. She ain't pay him. Look at this.
Cassie Ventura's lawsuit against Combs, testifying it was like reading her own story. She testified she was with Combs the day that hotel surveillance video showing Combs attacking Cassie back in 2016 became public. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all allegations in the case. There's a lot to get to from court. Plus, the new evidence released, voice memos from Combs to Jane, played for the jury. You can hear them for yourself coming up. And a toxicologist breaks down all the drugs we've been hearing about during this trial.
Oh,
How
damn.
can that affect a person's body? But first, let's get right to the federal courthouse. Aaron Katursky, our chief.
That Jolly Rancher
Oh
look
my
good.
goodness.
I wouldn't ate it though, but what they do with the Jolly Rancher? Add more sugar to his tank. Look at that. They got pink cocaine. They need to put Saucy Santana on the damn trial, man. I think he the one introduced Diddy to that bullshit. Hanging out with Young Miami got that man doing pink cocaine. Hold on, play that.
How can that affect a
Got the maximum tablets. Hey, they sell that shit in the damn Walgreens or whatever. Got them pills. Ain't like he know a nigga on the street that whip up a batch in the kitchen with them Pyrex pots. You got to get that through corporate. What they do with the Jolly Ranchers? Just to help that pink cocaine taste a little better.
person's body? But first, let's get right to the federal courthouse. Aaron Katursky, our chief investigative correspondent, has been in court all day. Aaron, bring us up to speed. What did Jane say on the witness stand today?
Oh, she said a lot, Eva, and there were these long sequences of anguished text messages telling Sean Combs how she no longer wanted to perform in these so-called hotel nights with male prostitutes, and the what she described as dismissive nature of Combs' response. But there were a couple of notable things. One, I think you hit on. Jane says she was there at Combs' Miami home in May 2024 when the Cassie video first aired on CNN. And she said Combs even showed her a draft of the statement that he was going to post to Instagram apologizing for it. And the jury heard her say that she didn't think he was being genuine. When she later heard and saw that Instagram post, the defense objected. The judge instructed the jury to disregard that testimony. The other interesting thing, Eva, that Jane said on the witness stand is that Sean Combs is still not only just paying her rent, but also paying her legal bills. And his defense attorneys were the ones to whom she first disclosed that Sean Combs got violent with her in June 2024.
How do this even make sense, man? Is they paying her to do this? She's still on the payroll. And that's what got me thinking everybody getting paid for this shit. They trying to put a black face on all this shit going on. Them Epstein trials and stuff. Y'all see Elon and your boy Trump going back and forth. And they trying to bury this stuff. Diddy, I think he just doing his job. He taking the blame for the brunt of all of the freaky diggy stuff going on in Hollywood. Now everybody could run and hide. They ain't got to worry about they shit being out there. They taking one for the team. And he got to be getting confiscated for this, man. That's the only way this making sense. Because there's no crimes being committed here. When he put hands on Cassie, he was dead wrong for that. You know, a couple of drug addicts. The shit gonna happen. They showed y'all that in New Jack City when Chris Rock and the crackhead was fighting over the turkey or whatever. There's drugs involved, alcohol involved. You know, 9 times out of 10 things gonna get violent. And he paid them people off. He paid everybody got paid, man. That don't make it right. But if they took the money, and not only did he pay people, but they signed contracts. You know, they signed BBLs and shit just to keep stuff on the low. Look at this, man.
Okay, Cassie Ventura Combs' ex was not in court today, but her civil suit against Diddy came up today. Why was that?
Jane said she nearly fainted, and she said, in fact, maybe I did faint because it was like reading her own story, as she put it, her own sexual trauma. And she said she confronted Sean Combs about it, and he told her that that was the only time in his relationship with Cassie Ventura when there had been violence. Now, the jury has certainly heard differently, but then there's Jane at Sean Combs' house when the video comes out. And she says that Combs gives her the statement to read. She thought it was apologetic, appropriately so. But when she finally heard it, she just didn't think that it was enough.
And after that hotel video became public and Combs pledged to become a better man, what did Jane say happened?
That's when she said that Sean Combs got violent with her in June 2024. And she was frank with the jury. She started it. She was getting upset. She was sort of pent up with all this resentment and anger at being forced into these hotel nights, she said. And she and Combs were kind of going at it a little bit. He bent over to tie his shoe, and she said she smacked his head into the counter and took off. He followed, kicked down several doors. The jury saw photos of the damaged doors that she later sent to a repairman. And that's when eventually she ran outside. She says Combs picked her up by the neck and dragged her back into the house, dragged her by the arm and by the hair. And it's this kind of repetitive behavior, because the jury has previously heard about dragging from Cassie Ventura, that the prosecutors say proves the kind of racketeering offenses that Combs is charged with, that he's pleaded not guilty to. But generally, this is also, prosecutors say, evidence of sex trafficking by coercion, because it speaks to Jane's state of mind. She knew that Combs could be violent. She agreed to yet more hotel nights, perhaps under duress.
Jurors also had a chance to hear a voice recording on Friday that Sean Combs allegedly sent to Jane. What did he say in that recording?
This is all part of Sean Combs' responses to various text messages where Jane is almost pleading with him to let her stop having sex with all of these male escorts. At one point, she's telling him that she's tired, she needs a break, she's...
Woo-hoo, boo-hoo. Tears of a whore. I know that sound cold, but that's what it is, man. How are we supposed to side along with this woman because she found herself in a life of sex work? Keep them legs closed. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Fucking Olivia lost and turned out.
Witness.
Belle Biv DeVoe. Don't trust a big butt and smile. That girl is poison. I mean, that's life. They say prostitution is the world's oldest profession. It's been going on for a long time. People been selling that ass with the monkey butts back in the day.
Witness.
It is what it is. If they want me to feel bad or feel sad for her because she decided to be a hoochie, well, hell, I feel bad for all the women at Magic City. They need to close the doors. They need to go down to Miami, shut down that King of Diamonds, and all the strip clubs in Houston, Atlanta, California, they all gotta go. Because these women suffering. We thought they was having a good time working them poles and working them tricks and making them dollars, clapping them clappers. Come to find out, that ain't the case, y'all. These girls ain't happy. They ain't enjoying themselves while they popping coochie. They mad. They wish they could get money by sitting on their ass doing nothing. And I understand. Maybe they need to do a census and write a check for all the women out there that's working with something but don't want to do a little something. Then they go out there and buy a little something. They getting all done up, getting all this work and everything. And there ain't nothing wrong with trying to be the best version of you. If you want to make yourself better, by any means, do what you gotta do. If that's gonna make you happy. But don't be surprised when some man come along offering you money. And a lot of times that's what they want. But it is what it is, man. Y'all gotta let me know. What is Diddy guilty of? What crime did he really commit? That's what I want to know. What illegal act did he really do? These were some very consensual relationships, some grown-ass women that made some grown-ass decisions. I ain't heard nothing about no child, nobody underage yet. So what the hell going on?
Not a porn star. She's not an animal. She's sore. And the jury heard Combs' response, which Jane says she took as a threat. Have a listen.
Girl, I done sent you flowers already. Ain't nobody talking about past? That's what I'm talking about. You don't know how to just move on. How can somebody like have a relationship with you, even as a friend, and you don't know how to move on? You can, it just goes crazy. Just stop. I'm saying, let's move on. And my tone is like this. I'm just waking up.
One of the reasons.
Hold on,
Jane
wait,
said
wait,
she
wait. What he said now? What he said? Hold on, run that back. What he said? I need to hear that clear and get an understanding of what he said that was so bad.
Animal, she's sore. And the jury heard Combs's response, which Jane says she took as a threat. Have a listen.
Girl, I done sent you flowers already. Ain't nobody talking about ass. That's what I'm talking about. You don't know how to just move on. How can somebody like have a relationship with you even as a friend and you don't know how to move on? You can like
Diddy a damn idiot, man. That's like for y'all fools out there be telling these girls y'all love them when y'all really don't. When you need to just keep it real and let her know, look, you ain't nothing but some cheeks to me. Like, I don't love you. I want to see you get freaky. You know, that's where Diddy fucked up. He talking all this brother love talk. I love you. I sent you flowers already. Got people signing love contracts. That's where he fucked up. He should have kept it a buck with them girls because they would have been like, well, hell, it ain't no possibility that he ever really gonna love me and all this bullshit. They trying to be down with his program. He Mr. Cool and everything. Mr. Ciroc, Sean John, they ain't got none of that stuff going on. They want to get with his program, whatever his program is. They want to be chosen. They figure they could work their way through the ranks and be Mrs. Combs by any means necessary. And that made me wonder, rest in peace to Kim Porter, but what Misa and his other baby mamas and stuff had going on that, you know, what type of lifestyle they was into. Because this ain't something that just started with Diddy. I believe this started with Uptown Records, Def Jam. It's something that's been going on in the industry for a long time. It's the standard of how these men are. You know, his OGs show him the rope. So, you know, if you want to be with a man like this, you got to be the ultimate whore on some flavor of love shit. And these women, you know, some of them built for it, some of them ain't built for it, man. Because you have to factor in, these men got plenty of women chasing them all day, every day. So what makes you special? You know, what makes you a champion? And I think that's why he run them through the ringer like that. Because why am I wasting my time with you? But like I said, if he would have kept it real and said, hey, you know, I like the way you look. You got a nice little body and everything. I'm into voyeurism. I like to watch people have sex. If you could do that for me, then we could have a relationship on, you know, you'll be compensated. You know, hire them like they some real fucking employees, man. And let them know that you they boss and you ain't playing that shit. He talking about, he's sending people flowers and apologizing for what, man? If she's sex worker, did she not know she was a sex worker? That's the cold-blooded part. If he could roast these people into this shit, and he wasn't flat out point blank period, and these women gullible, and like I said, they just want to be a part of his program, he a lame for that. If you gonna be a pimp, keep it all the way pimping. So I need to change that. That's what he guilty of, man. He guilty for being lame, man. I'm gonna change that. I ain't even gotta ask the question no more. Diddy is guilty of being a lame. That's what it is.
Goodness.
I don't answer my own damn question. Because if it would have had to been me, and they giving you hell, they bashing your head in the wall and all that bullshit, let her know straight up, man, you are a sex worker. That's all you are to me, some booty. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out of my house. And he wouldn't be on trial today if he would have kept it real like that, you know?
It just goes crazy. Just stop. I'm saying, let's move on. And my tone is like this. I'm just waking up.
One of the reasons Jane said she took that as a threat is because he's talking about moving on, ending their relationship. Every time Jane said she would bring up to Sean Combs.
She had Diddy by the balls. He talking about my tone is like this because I'm just waking up. She had to be a bad motherfucker. He didn't want to piss her off. That was the one for him. He ain't give a fuck about Cassie like that. She just left over lunch meat. This one right here, he mind his manners with her. She wanted more money, he'll pay the money. She must have superhead. Or whatever she had going on, he really liked it. He was very entertained to be entertaining her that long. And 50 Cent liked it a lot too. He messed around, had a baby with this chick, so she must paint a picture or put you under an illusion or some. She must be good at what she do for them to be paying her all that money and for her to be having all them options and things. So, and I ain't saying that's who it is, man. Allegedly, people been saying that it's 50 Cent's baby mom. We don't know who Jane Doe is. That's why it's Jane Doe. But for the allegation's sake, people gonna say it's her. But I don't know who. We don't know who Jane Doe is. Y'all let me know who y'all think Jane Doe is.
Her reluctance to perform with male prostitutes, she said hovering over the conversation would be the fact that he's paying a $10,000 monthly rent check.
And Aaron, what was Combs's response listening to all of this in court today?
His demeanor was a bit interesting today. He's listening carefully to all of this, especially some of the more recent messages, because more voice notes were played in court today, and his voice kind of echoes through the courtroom, which is otherwise silent. But he was sitting back from the defense table, had his legs stretched out, his arms kind of crossed like this, and we're not sure what the posture means, but it was a notable difference from the leaning forward at the table and listening intently to the speaker.
Aaron Katursky for us there at the courthouse. Aaron, thank you so much. Let's break down what we saw in court today. Joining me now, ABC News legal contributor and defense attorney Brian Buckmeyer. Brian, Jane back on the stand. What stood out to you today?
I mean, Aaron highlighted most of it, right? The fact that Sean Combs is still paying the $10,000, paying for her legal fund, the violence that we heard that she alleged that Sean Combs did in that what we might describe like mutual combat between the two of them, and also just how he started to hear evidence of close in time to Cassie's lawsuit, the close in time to the raid, and also him getting arrested, and how we're getting an inside view as to what Sean Combs was doing and how he reacted through Jane herself.
Let's talk about that lawsuit, Cassie Ventura's 2023 lawsuit against Combs. Why did this come up?
It came up because Jane described the moment in which she heard about the lawsuit, when she actually read the lawsuit herself as well. And
said, when I heard the lawsuit that Cassie put out there, when she heard about that money and how Cassie got paid, she's like, I dare this bitch get paid more than me. I took just as many BBCs as that hoe did.
Goodness.
When she heard Cassie filed that lawsuit, man, that's when her motherfucking spidey senses started tingling. Like, fuck that $10,000 a month. What that add up to at the end of the year? Shit, that's $120,000, ain't it? She said, the hell with that $10,000. I'd rather get $20 million and pay my own damn bill. Now she on the job. But honestly, I think she just making it easier for him to get off, because it shows how consensual this shit is and how generous he is and was. And it's going to be hard to sue a wealthy man in the future, because it's like, bitch, you took the money. If you don't want to do something, don't take the money. And like the old saying goes, don't bite the hand that feeds you. They nibbling all on his fingers right now, and he's still feeding their ass. What's gonna come of all this, man? That's what I want to know. Them Jane Does, they gonna suffer. I know them John Does suffering, especially when the news get around in their workplace that they was a nigga trying to get some money, accusing Diddy of taking a booty. That's some shit you can't take back. Matter of fact, I want to show y'all something real quick. It's only gonna take a second. Y'all gotta see this. This boy, his shit done, man. He done. He can't show his face nowhere. He been punked out, bitched out. I hope he ain't got kids, because if he do, Your daddy a lame. It don't matter what beats he making. He tried to sue Diddy for fondling with his booty and everything. Like, be a man. Next time you see Diddy in the street, take his motherfucking head off. Cuba Gooding too. Beat the shit out of Cuba Gooding Jr. You see him at the red carpet, tackle his ass for doing what he allegedly did. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sympathy for no man. They gonna catch all to man. This shit done. Trying to make a quick buck. Entertaining people. But you figure you gotta take chances, especially when there's millions of dollars involved. You gonna have to, jump out the window. And that's exactly what he did. He took a chance, but he ain't got no vagina. I give a damn about his man meat or whatever the case is. He was paying rent. Last time she saw him was in Miami 2024. She said Combs threw water at her when she told him that she was tired from staying up all night. Life! They ain't said shit that could get a man life in jail. Jury shown video of Jane with visible bruisings at Combs' home. Combs accused Jane of cheating and said they were breaking up. Is this when she was with 50 Cent, allegedly? Jane testified that she next saw Diddy in person a few days later. I just missed him so bad. Hold on, what happened before this? Jane says Combs sent thousands of dollars in cash to cover entertainers' costs and home damages. She said she missed him so bad. She testified that she saw Combs in person a few days later. I just missed him so bad, she said. Jane said she and Combs had been messaging each other about that night and how awful we were both feeling. Jane testified that Combs repeatedly accused her of cheating while she kept apologizing and insisting that nothing happened. They agreed to see each other and she went to his home. Jane said they tried to be upbeat, but there was a sadness underneath. Oh, Sean was basically saying that we were breaking up and we were just gonna be friends, she testified. Adding that he said he loved me, but what I did was so wrong. At one point, Combs asked his assistant what he had seen on the FaceTime call that night. Jane testified that the assistant said he only saw her crying in the corner when Combs accidentally turned the camera toward her. Oh, Lord. This sad. What happened that night, man? What went on? Had them about to break up and stuff. Man, that was his baby. That was his boo-boo.
Oh my goodness.
Jane says Combs sent thousands of dollars in cash to cover entertainers' costs and home damages. Sean Diddy Combs had his assistant Jonathan and security guard deliver deliver $10,000 to $12,000 in cash to Jane to cover the entertainers' costs and damages to the home. What happened? She testified Combs damaged 4 doors during the altercation the night before. She put some of the cash in the bag, covered it with paper, and sent it in the Uber. She also took a photo of the Uber license plate, which the jury saw in case it was an issue with the money. Jane testified she never paid to get the doors fixed because there were so many other bills to take care of, but she did contact a supplier. She fucking snorted that money up her damn nose. Jane testified Combs told her to cover injuries with makeup before inviting entertainer over. So he smashing on some bruised Gucci. Jane says Combs held her down while another woman assaulted her. She said Diddy Combs assaulted her. They went back into the master bedroom and she used Combs' phone to call the girl she assumed he was with on his family trip.
Oh my goodness.
She stuttering and shit. She turned into Daffy Duck when they start talking about Diddy cheating. She couldn't take it. Like, I'm gonna call that bitch for you, family flip. She get on the phone quacking like a damn duck because she mad at Diddy freaking off with another broad. Jane said she asked the girl if she was on the trip And the girl started insulting her while on the phone, like, bitch, you don't know the fuck you talking about. Ask me about no motherfucking trail. You supposed to be a Chinese bitch. Jane said she yelled out that Combs was beating her, and he immediately hung up the phone, she testified. Later, Combs FaceTime. So while the chick on the phone cussing her out, her only response was, this nigga beating my ass. He beating my ass.
Goodness.
Like, you fucking Chinese bitch, I ain't motherfucker. He beating my ass. A hot ghetto mess, y'all. Jane said she yelled out that Combs was beating her, and he immediately hung up the phone. Later, Combs FaceTime one of his assistants and told him to tell Jane that there wasn't a girl on the trip. Jane testified, hold on, he was beating the girl ass, the one that she FaceTimed. So she started talking shit to Daphne, and then Diddy started beating her ass. Jane testified that she was in the corner of the room and Combs was standing right in front of her. At some point after that, Jane went to the shower to cool off. When she looked in the mirror, she noticed 2 golf ball-sized welts over her forehead and the black eye forming. Oh my God.
Goodness.
Combs got in the shower too, but was still wearing clothes. You high motherfucker, standing out of the water. Jane testified she told Combs she hated him. Combs slapped her 3 times and a whap, 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 eventually knocking her off balance to the damn ground. Oh, he dirty for that. Combs was then using her phone to watch pornography. The phone was screen mirrored to the TV so she could see he was texting an entertainer they used before to see if he could come over. Damn. He was a horny bastard. Beating her off and skeeting her off. Maybe they should give him some time for being a dirty motherfucker. Because that's one thing for sure. He is dirty. And he lame as hell for doing all that stuff, man. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section. He's still paying her bills, y'all. And she in the courtroom talking about it. I just don't understand, man. Y'all do me a favor. Hit that Cash App. $ Sean Blaze Docs. I know y'all ain't got it like Diddy. And if you do, hook a brother up, man. Y'all see me out here giving this news. I got so much love for y'all. I need y'all to do one more thing before I go. Y'all know what it is. Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on.